You know what's really ironic is the balloons in the background, isn't it? Because I'm trying to give off this aura of being completely depressed and sad about this whole situation. But we had a birthday in the in our house, and there's balloons in the background. Now those balloons should have been, I guess, a celebration for AJ and Fury getting announced, but no, I guess you could say they're funeral balloons for the death of AJ and Fury, and not the people, but the fight. I don't think we're going to see it, you know that. And you know what the worst thing is? I don't even know if we'll see it ever. I've, I, I was so optimistic. I'm not even joking. Like all my friends are telling me, you know what? Oh my god, you know what? It's going to happen. As in, sorry, all my friends were saying to me, no, it's probably not going to happen. You know, they started to Usyk the mandatory and, Wilder and the contract. And I'm like, no, 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 it's going to happen. I'm really optimistic. Don't worry, it's going to happen. Eddie Hearn saying it's getting all sorted. Frank Warren's like, this is the fight that we want. Bob Arum saying it's the fight that they want. Tyson Fury saying that's the fight he wants. Anthony Joshua saying, and I'm like, look, if everyone wants to fight, it's going to happen. Now, I don't doubt that everyone wants to fight. I have to say, I don't doubt that everyone wants to fight, as in all the parties involved, AJ's team, Fury's team. What does annoy me, though, is the fact that clearly this arbitration case was going on in the background, but there were assurances from Bob Arum especially, and I think, to be fair, I think it might be a bit harsh to say Frank Warren as well, because I feel like even though Frank Warren is co-promoting Tyson Fury, I don't know how much power he really has. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's more to do with the fact that, like, the lawyers, for example, dealing with arbitration were all top ranks, and Bob is a lawyer. And I remember Bob saying, and also Eddie saying, that Bob had reassured everyone and was reassuring everyone that don't worry about the arbitration. It's a non-issue. It's not going to be a problem. We're definitely going to win it. I'm very, very optimistic that we're going to win the arbitration. It won't get in the way. As in, it's not going to be an issue for us. We can move forward the fight. So Bob and Frank sit on their asses, basically, right? And let Eddie just go about going to, Saudi, Prince Khalid, sorting it all out. They did the AJ Ruiz 2 fights out there, and they're like, go on, yeah, go on, go and get us some money then, go and see. So as Eddie's talking to, I don't know, China, flipping, I don't know, other territories in the Middle East, he's talking to Wembley, he's talking to guys in the US, he's talking to flipping, I don't know, man, like Indonesia, Singapore, like all these, people coming with offers, and he's working like tirelessly. Like you could tell, like it was really grinding on him, and people kept on asking about it. And he's one of those people that just cannot keep his mouth shut. So he kept on leaking some type of information about it. Now, there was lots of twists and turns. It was like, okay, if it's not, if we don't get the contract by this date, it's not happening. Is what Fury's team was saying, or Bob was saying anyway, right? It's like, oh, we have to move on. And that to me was a bit like alarm bells, a little bit like, do they not want it? But I was like, they keep on saying they do want it. And to me, this is what kind of, now in retrospect, and it's easy to say in hindsight, to be fair, but I think the feeling that I got, and the reason why I got it, is because Fury, I think, was very much on the, yeah, happy to fight AJ. I think Fury really wants to fight. I think both fighters want it. There's no doubt about that. I think all the promoters want it as well. But I think the reason why Bob and Frank, maybe Frank is just like that in general, but Bob especially, the reason why he was a little bit more reserved than he would be is because he knew what was going on. And then I think it got to a point where maybe a couple of weeks back, what did he say? He said, "Oh, the fight's dead in the water." He said about AJ and Fury. He didn't believe what was going on with the Saudis. That to me was almost like, oh, maybe if I put this out there, Hearn might be like, I don't want to deal with you, and I have a feeling that Wilder's going to win the arbitration, so we can just fight him a third time. Then we can fight AJ after, because I was going to be a bit messy. But Eddie's like, no, 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 I've done all this work. We're going to make this happen. Can you stop being, so pessimistic on this, Bob? Now, do you know where I'm going with this? We got to this stage now where it's clear. I mean, I'm not. Let's just call it how it is. Fury's team have messed up big time, and look, when it comes to Fury fighting AJ and who I favor, there's definitely bias there because I've watched a lot of AJ's fights, and well, yeah, I'm a bit of a fan. Can't lie to you. So fine, I do pick him. But I'm under no illusions that Fury would probably go into that the favorite, right? But when it comes to stuff like this, I don't give a damn. Like the promoters and stuff. Eddie Hearn is quite amusing, but to be honest, Bob Arum can be amusing at times. Frank Warren can be amusing at times. Promoters are promoters, like much the muchness, really. But when I look at it and it's just so blatant, like Eddie's gone out there and done all this work, right? Eddie Hearn's gone out there and done all this work. I feel slightly sorry for him. He's gone out there, done all this work for months, got all the contracts signed, had to deal with two promoters on the other side as well, and MTK Global as well to boot. AJ's side signed it all, right? Sent it over to Fury. Kept on getting revised. Fine, of course, like everyone's entitled to money and clauses and stuff. That's all good. Eventually gets signed. Fury signs it. Done. All signed, right? Ready to roll it out. Fury even started posting stuff like Fury in Arabia, and he posted on Instagram, Fury in Arabia. He said he also posted a video saying, "I spoke to Prince Khalid. The fight's happening. Let's go. Going to smash Anthony Joshua in the face." Then it was also, this is all on the same day, by the way. It was all undisputed. A picture of him and AJ. MTK Global was posting stuff as well. It's almost like Fury's team knew. They told Fury, by the way, Wilder is going to win this arbitration case, or maybe he'd already won it by that point. And Fury's like, "Oh, damage control, quickly put it all out there, put it all out there, like chuck it all on there to say that actually, I'm going to fight him." Or maybe it was just bad coincidence, but it just seems way too convenient. Either way, I mean, it's just absolute carnage because then Wilder comes out and, well, Wilder's team, Wilder hasn't said anything specifically, I don't think. And a report comes out from Mark Kriegel saying has to fight him September 15th. If you saw my other video, you'd know. I mean, how can you have missed it? So September the 15th is when they've been ordered to fight Wilder, and apparently the reason why it got ruled in favor of Wilder is because they used the Lennox Lewis and Hasim Rahman example. Now, for those who don't know, Hasim Rahman obviously knocked out Lennox Lewis in the first fight in South Africa when Lennox Lewis was just filming Ocean's 11, didn't get used to the altitude, blah blah, whatever. But he lost, right? Fine. He then instigated the rematch, and the rematch clause in the contract. Hasim Rahman wanted to get out of it, wanted to fight Mike Tyson in a big money fight, and the judge basically ruled in favor of Lennox Lewis because Lewis's team were like, "Look, I'm 35. I'm going to keep on deteriorating. I've only got a few fights left in me, and I wanted to honor the contract." This is slightly different because arbitration. I think it's civil, not federal. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know whether I have no idea whether, for example, Fury's team can appeal the arbitration ruling. I'm getting it looked at again. It probably doesn't help that Fury kept on saying in interviews, "I'm going to fight him again. I'm going to fight him again. After this fight, I'll fight him for a third time and beat him up." And he said it like 100 times. So they probably played that back to Fury like, "Well, you said you're going to do it, so why do you have an issue with doing it?" But to be honest with you, I don't mind the ruling in favor of Wilder. Wilder's team is just Al Heyman, by the way. I mean, how much power does he have? Bloody hell! But anyway, I mean, Bob Arum's a lawyer, so he said the contract had expired. So either he's a terrible lawyer, or he's just old, or he knew it all along because, boom, he goes, "I've booked Allegiant Stadium for July 24th just in case Fury Wilder 3 has to happen," which means he knew all along. He knew all along that it might not happen. But what he did is he sat on his butt and said, "Go on, Eddie, you go and sort out AJ Fury for us, right?" And in the 50, I reckon he thought it was 50-50. And in the case that they won in favor of Fury in arbitration, he can say, "Oh, look at me. I'm the man. I'm the man. We sorted out AJ Fury undisputed. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Go on you go." He is conniving Bob Arum, because in the other case which has happened here, Wilder's won the case. He's gone. I'm ready because I'm so good. I've already booked the Allegiant Stadium for 24th of July straight away, just as a backup plan. He's booked it months ago, months and months and months ago. So I'm sorry, but it is an absolute joke. And Fury's team have not. I mean, I'm sorry. It's all in bad faith. It's all in bad faith. And to be fair, when I say Fury's team, I think it's a bit harsh to say the whole team and stuff. And Tyson Fury, I like him. I think actually, I think he's totally up for it. It's not the fighters. It's not. It's all this. It's all this rubbish in between. All this like having two promoters and a management company and this and that and like it's just come on, just get through all the red tape. All this red tape, just get rid of it. And I almost want Tyson Fury to just chuck the belt in the bin and just say, you know what, I'll just fight him without the WBC. But then, okay, does Anthony Joshua want to fight Tyson Fury without the WBC? I have no idea. Because the whole time it's been undisputed, which is fair enough. It's also fair enough that Tyson Fury doesn't want to throw the belt in the bin. And then the court ruling, I don't know, is it that he has to fight him because he's a WBC champion? Or is it that he just has to fight Fury? Like Fury has to fight him no matter what. Doesn't matter whether he's got a belt or not, which I think would be a bit stupid. I'd assume it's for the WBC belt, but I don't know. It's funny, I saw a meme of Mauricio Suleiman bringing out the franchise belt, right? Because obviously that is a workaround. It's a workaround. It is. If he doesn't have to fight him, if he's not the WBC champion, chucks in the bin. Mauricio Suleiman gives him the franchise belt. They fight for that. They'll definitely happily call it undisputed. And the WBC belt can be fought between Deontay Wilder and Dillian Whyte. I just can't see it happening in August. It was 14th of August was the proposed date. Not going to happen. I think people had already booked their flights and stuff. And it's just crazy. It's just Tyson Fury's taken down all those pictures and posters and videos, and he said on his story that Deontay Wilder wants 20 million step aside. That's like 20 million. He's only getting 75 million for the fight for AJ. I say only, it's a damn a lot. That's a lot of money. But he said 20 million because he knows that they're not going to give him that. So it seems like Wilder isn't willing to take step aside and a guarantee to fight the winner or Fury if Fury wins. Malik Scott, who's now, I don't know if he's head coach. I haven't seen Jay Diaz, but it looks like he's definitely part of the team now anyway. Malik Scott basically said Deontay Wilder doesn't care about money. He just wants blood. He wants revenge, basically. He wants retribution, blah, blah, blah. You know, the typical Deontay Wilder stuff. And, like, I really like Deontay Wilder, but it is just, like, that's just the way he talks. No, most definitely, as he would say. So, fair enough. I think we're going to see AJ versus Usyk next. And Fury versus Wilder 3 next. This probably seems premature because it's only been like a day. I just can't see a workaround. They're not willing to pay them step aside money, which Bob Arum already said they're not. And then Fury's 20 million. He's like, nah, mate. And then he's like, actually, I'm going to fight Wilder then next, and then I'll fight Joshua. And Eddie Hearn's already started to talk sell with Usyk because he's like, we need a backup plan. It's gone all to crap. Put it all in the bin. They're like, oh yeah, that's right. Well, because if each person wins, which they should do, then we'll just fight in December. Like Bob Arum said that. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Usyk could easily beat Joshua. Wilder could just clip Tyson Fury with the right hand. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. You'd expect Joshua and Fury to win, but it's not a given. Like, these are elite fights. People are just crazy. They're deluded. And boxing again, it's boxing fans once again lose out because boxing has shot itself in the foot. And as per usual, we have complete and utter rubbish. As in, the fights are really good. The fights that might happen instead. But the one fight, right, that would help boxing grow as a sport, the one fight that, look, unless you're a Wilder fan, 99.9% of the other fans want this fight. Doesn't matter who you support, AJ or Fury, flipping Dylan White. You want this? Everyone wants to see this fight. All the fighters, all the heavyweights saying they want to see this fight. Joe Joyce, like everyone, they want to see this fight. Just, I, I just don't understand it. It's just crazy to think about that. We were this close. We were this close. I could smell the official fight poster coming out, but clearly, I think AJ's team probably knew at that point anyway. Bob Arum was probably telling them, "Look, the arbitration ruling is coming out in a couple of days, so we should probably wait until that happens." And they're like, "Oh, we have nothing to worry about, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, probably not, but just in case." And then it's like, "Oh, here we go." Yeah, on your bike, mates. Anyway, enough of that. Cool. Thanks very much, guys, for tuning in. Please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, click the notification bell to get alerts to all the new videos. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I'll see you guys on the next video. We are on our road to 1K subs, so any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. And as I said, like, boxing, this is why people go to UFC and to other sports, because boxing lets you down. It lets you down big time. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, probably never see it. AJ Fury, if it doesn't happen in August, which now I reckon there's a 90% chance now it doesn't happen in August, and probably there's a 70% chance it doesn't happen in December. I reckon if it doesn't happen in August, sorry. So if it doesn't happen next, I wouldn't be surprised if it never happens. Or it does happen, but too late, like Tyson Lewis, which is just rubbish. Anyways, thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. And all I'm hoping for is, you know what, someone turns around and says, 20 million? You want 20 million? Oh, I've got 20 million. Psh! The Saudis are like, here's 20 million extra. Give it to Wilder. But they're not going to be happy with it. They're annoyed. They're really, really annoyed. They're pissed, apparently, according to DAZN. Rightly so. Cool. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.